Welcome back, Tipsy Crew. On this week's episode, we have a far journey starting in Nice, France, and working our way west to Perpignan, France. Our first stop is Antibes, home to medieval streets, bustling markets, and Le Fort Car watching and protecting its harbor. We spend a few days here while we wait out some anticipated weather, exploring the town, catching views from the lighthouse, and grabbing a pint at the local Yachty bar to watch the Rugby National Championship, aka the World Cup of Rugby, which is one of Europe's entertaining and most played sports.
Yeah.
Good morning.
So explain what we're up to this morning, why we got up so early.
It's 8, so it's early for us, but it's not that early. But there's lots of strong winds coming at us. We were anchored in Antibes for a long time, waiting on a package that still hasn't arrived. So we just need to make moves because there's not much weather windows to continue, and we have to go west. Right?
Yeah, we have to go west, and the wind is
really
really strong and coming from the west.
It's coming from the west in a few days, but today it's light winds coming from the south, I think.
Yeah.
So now's our chance. We gotta go. So we're heading to Saint-Tropez because that is a pretty tucked away little anchorage that we could be safe from swells and winds. It's really hard, we've learned, sailing here in the Med because the winds are from all different directions, so you have to be aware of that, and they get pretty strong here. And when you don't have shackles for your mainsail, you can't really sail, so that's great.
Did you like your time in Antibes?
Antibes was pretty cool, yeah. It was our favorite French city.
Does it rank number 1? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was neat. We walked around the forts and we explored the old town and we went to the market like 5 times. Got a lot of spices. But yeah, it was cool. We were gonna go out for Halloween last night, but we decided what?
Point at the Alps. See the Alps?
Yeah, I thought there was like a dive.
No, they have. Look at how cool that looks. Let's see if I can zoom in.
I'm also about to cross like a line where it looks like different
There's
water.
the Swiss Alps right there. We had a couple rainstorms come through and gave them a nice little dusting of snow, which is cool.
And look at the line.
Oh yeah, it's like just a separation of water from the current, I guess, opposing currents maybe. Goodbye, Antibes.
After a fun night out, we get back to business preparing for a quick sail from Antibes to Saint-Tropez to hide from more bad weather. The calm before the storm brought us very light winds for this sail. We figured if we hoist the Screecher, we could catch as much wind in the sail as possible to scoot us along, but unfortunately, that was not the case.
I mean, we could probably throw the main up. Just go to that first reef.
You think it'll be okay?
Because it's the topmost one and then the bottom two. I think it'll be fine.
Alright.
Or you can air that. And otherwise, we'll be getting there in 5 hours, which is fine too, actually. I don't mind that. 5 hours from now, it's 3 p.m. That's totally fine. We just leave it like this. Because honestly,
You don't want to put the main up now?
well, if we bring the main up, we have to point directly downwind, which will cause that sail to get all whacked.
But there's not really any strong winds. I feel like we could put the main up right as
It won't get caught with the lazy jacks. I can just douse the lazy jacks on the side.
The wind direction was almost directly behind us and pretty much non-existent, so for a little while we just let the swells push us along as we refused to turn on the motors. The forecast for later that night was showing high wind warnings with gusts up to 50 knots, so we planned to anchor deep into the Bay of Saint-Tropez to be as protected as possible.
This guy wanted to go all the way to Toulon, which is like 40 miles or something. 70 miles. What was it?
Yeah,
70 miles in one day. And now he wants to go 2 knots.
We could make it in 35 hours now.
We've got 12 miles. It's going to take us 6 hours if we keep going like this.
What's the rush?
Just sunlight.
What? Sunlight's the rush?
Yeah, if the sun goes down.
Oh yeah.
Anchoring and that. I don't even think the Screecher's doing anything. I think it's the swells moving us.
6 hours.
Everything seemed fine and dandy until we woke up the next morning to find ourselves in every boater's nightmare.
Is it in there?
No.
I don't know if you guys can see this. The weather's crazy right now. The winds are so strong, but there's a bowl right there. We were anchored up there in front of the ball. When pulled on the chain, we were still in front of this bowl, and now we're way behind it. So we've been dragging this morning. Luckily we caught it and our anchor alarm went off, but holy shit. So we are deep in the Bay of Saint-Tropez, and it was crap weather yesterday, super windy, super gray, super rainy. Today it's just super windy, but it's not raining, so we're taking this chance to move towards like the main town of Saint-Tropez, which is closer to the exit, because tomorrow we leave. We head to Toulon. Long sail. Is it up?
And we're dug in.
That's good, because those wind gusts were insane. Now it's 7. When we were sleeping, it was like 40 knot gust winds. It was aggressive. I for sure thought we were dragging. But we were stuck in there pretty good, luckily.
We were feeling a bit discouraged since this season's journey is coming to an end. And to add to that, we've been getting attacked with horrible sea conditions. 4-meter swells, too strong of winds for sailing, rain, thunder, lightning, and Jay's least favorite, cold temperatures has been our luck lately.
At least with these beautiful disasters, there follows beautiful sunsets and sunrises that give us a bit of hope.
To clean the windows because they're full of salt from yesterday. The boat was just getting douched on, so we can hardly see out of the windows with all the crusty salt. So gotta rinse them down. Good morning. It is about 7:30. We had plans yesterday to leave around 8:30, but when John woke up this morning, he checked the weather and it is supposed to be coming in earlier. So we decided to head out while it's calm and just get a head start, which it is nice right now because you can see yesterday we were in crazy like 6-foot swells, 30 knot winds. It was pretty aggressive, and we had to do that for like 3 hours. If we have to wake up earlier to skip that today, I'm fine with it. But we're headed to Toulon, which is in the southern part of France, and we're still waiting on a part for our mainsail, so we can't bring that out today. When the winds pick up, I think we're just gonna probably pull out the jib and see what we get, but most of the time we're just motor sailing, unfortunately, because the winds are plenty strong enough to be fully sailing. But we don't want to damage any more than we already have with the mainsail. It's pretty chilly. I've got like quadruple layers on. I'm wearing socks for gloves because I don't have any gloves. We haven't had breakfast yet, so I might start cooking that up.
We initially had an important piece that we needed for our mainsail sent to Antibes, but it was denied at the border for some reason and was sent back. So, we had to reorder it to Toulon, which is where we are headed next. An anchoring point of the mainsail to the mast had been damaged and needed replacing. At some point, most likely due to rookie user error, too much stress had been put on this attachment, causing the bolt inside to be stripped out. Without this attachment point doing what it needed to do, we were unable to hoist the mainsail fully and spent the last of our season in the Mediterranean with a reef in the main. Once we get our boat tucked away at anchorage, we can then swap out the broken pieces with the newly delivered pieces, and then the mainsail would be fully functional. The boring rundown of this is that on the mainsail there are battens to help hold the sail shape, not let it get too blown out or stretched by the wind. These things attach the batten to the sail through here. The batten goes in here, this clamps onto the sail, and then there is another stainless steel piece right here that attaches onto these little cars that go up and down the mast. So this will pull the sail up out of the lazy bag on the boom, and this is the part that was broken, so I'm gonna replace these and get going. I don't know how we're gonna do this with this kind of wind. We got that drill set. I have a drill, but to hold these bits, unless I chop this, I guess I could chop this Allen wrench. I was thinking like chop off just the tip of it, and then putting that as a bit inside of the drill.
The shackles weren't the only thing needing fixed on our boat, even though she is less than a year old. I didn't know this prior, but new boat owners should always expect a handful of warranty work that will need to be fixed within the first few years. A sailing vessel of this size is so complex, with a lot of different wiring setups, a flexible outer shell, larger engines, a surplus of ropes or lines, and is all hand-built, thus being destined to have problems arise. Did you know the difference between a rope and a line on a boat is that when not assigned a job, it is just a rope, but when you prepare a rope for a specific task, it becomes employed and is called a line. After getting what we needed in Toulon, we head to Roses, Spain. It's about 130 nautical mile sail, and the wind is actually in our favor finally, so we hoist up that mainsail that has been itching to be used, and we cruise an average 8 knots along some pretty stealthy swells before it calmed down during the nighttime.
The true wind angle is 48 degrees, and our apparent wind angle is 38. And how fast are we going?
8 knots.
8 knots. Whoa.
Let's see what you got.
Got a
Midnight snack.
I don't know. It's not ratatouille. It's something else. It's a bunch of vegetables.
Okay.
Sauce. And I've got
That looks
some
really good.
rubbery tofu.
What else you got? Let's see. Oh, that is just done.
I'll take that.
Yum. Whoa. I just got smoked.
Yummy.
Let's go see where we're at right now. It's probably really loud out here because we just turned on the motors. But here we are. We just left Toulon earlier today. Almost halfway to Perpignan, right over here.
After a long and calm sail throughout the night, we were surprised by a lovely sunrise to really set the course for how the day was going to be. We had great sailing conditions the rest of the way and pulled into the anchorage right around happy hour. It's nice to see land, but it's also heartbreaking to know that we only have a week left on this side before heading back home for the winter. Thanks for watching, and hit the like button if you've stuck around this far. Next week, we prepare for this 14-ton vessel to be hauled out of the water. Subscribe if you'd like to stay tuned for our upcoming episodes. Cheers, Tipsy Crew!
We're pulling into Rose, Spain. We left at 1:45 yesterday and it is 1:10 today. We've been sailing throughout the night. John pretty much has. I was just sleepy any second. I don't know. I just woke up again because I'm hungry. We'll check this anchorage out and we'll hang out here for a few days before we have to pack it up. We made it. Good job.
We did.
24 hours later.
24 hours.
Here we are. So it's nice to be here at anchor.